Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent, and on a day where the current fear versus greed index is sitting at a 19 out of 100, calling it an extreme fear day, what do we talk about XRP today? If everybody's fearful, if everyone's scared, why are we even talking? Right? I mean, that's generally the mindset that people have. How do I know this, right? Well, from April until now, the volume of people that have gone on channels like TikTok, YouTube has dropped by almost 70%. Why? Because when things are green, when things are pretty, when people are making money, everyone wants in on the party. And they do very little research and they want big returns right away. And when on a day like today, when we have a value of 19 out of 100 and a status of extreme fear, here you are researching, digging, understanding, spending your Sunday watching something that could potentially have value to you. So I want to thank you for being that type of person, because this channel started for that type of person, not for the person that just goes and chases green candles and gets wrecked, for the person that grinds when it's tough, for the person that goes into a deal when no one's talking about the deal, for a person that takes opportunity by the hand. And that is you. Now, this video may be helpful to you, it may not be helpful to you, but you're here spending your Sunday watching, reading, understanding, and you know what? You are my type of serpent. You are my type of crypto serpent. And I'll go over things today. So, the XRP price chart. Where are we going? What is happening? What the hell is a death cross? Why should you care about that, right? So, we're in a very critical point at the moment when it comes to the price chart. Yahoo Finance talks about, where we are at the moment on the 200 moving average. What does that mean? Are we going into a bearish bear cross where we dip even further? We spoke, obviously about the 51 cents and how we hit 51 cents and then we jumped up. And there are talks of a 43 cents, which would be a 61.8 Fibonacci retracement of the December to April bull run. And then we would kick off again. Now, I don't know about you, but I've heard 43 cents before on this channel. And I like Yahoo Finance making that correction as well. That 43s could be coming our way. Are they going to come our way? Let's talk about it throughout the video. So Ripple has the XRP Ledger Foundation has opened a new office in Tallinn, Estonia. So there is a new office that has opened for the XRP Ledger Foundation, and he's going to be in Estonia. So very, very cool to see. Estonia, for those of you who don't know, is quite an innovative country in Europe. And fascinating to see the XRP Ledger Foundation move there. So very, very cool. And we'll be keeping a very close eye on that. Now, we know that July 27th is now when the SEC makes, the deposition will be on the 27th, which will be 28 in Australia. Now, 28 in Australia will be our Wednesday. So we will be keeping our eyes and ears glued to the social channels about what's going on and what happens there. Now, don't expect anything, dramatic to occur on that date, right? Because it's a deposition. It doesn't mean that the words that are said on that day or the words that aren't said on that day will have a massive spike in the price. So I just wanted to make sure you know, because sometimes obvious things aren't always so obvious. Now, FX Street says that the XRP price to witness short-term jitters as death cross nears despite progress in the SEC case. So we have Yahoo Finance and we got FX Street talking about this. Now, if there is another decline, then, they're both talking the same. They're both talking about 43 cents being where we could go. Some say even 48, 43. We'll go over that. What does that look like for you? What implications does it have? I mean, if you're liquid, I mean, it's a great news if that does happen. And I'm going to say if, because it doesn't mean it's going to happen. And a breakout is not confirmed. And I like what Adnan has said here. A breakout in downward direction opens the path to 3 cent, 35 cents. We will see a clear picture by Monday. So very, very interesting here. Like we're talking about, he's talking even further. We've got FX Street talking about 48. We've got Yahoo Finance talking about 43, and this guy's talking about 35. So you can see how it can get quite confusing, like where do we go, where do we not go. I like this, like the Interledger and Hyperledger protocols at a glance. It's a really cool diagram. I wish it was a little bit better quality because it is quite pixelated. But, the ecosystem of XRP is so good, so strong. And on a day like today, when, everybody's fearful and you're doing your research, you gotta, do your research on things that have solid foundations for the future. So not for what it is today. And XRP could be that for you. But let's have a look at some of the indicators. Let's have a look at some of the what the indicators are telling us about where we could be going over the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so as we begin to look at the charts, and we are starting off with the 12-hour chart, we can see that we were outside of the Bollinger Band and now we're back inside the Bollinger Band, but we are still on a bearish trend on the MACD, and on the RSI we are sitting towards the bottom. Now let's go into the daily. What does that look like? We almost went out of the Bollinger Band, and then we came back in. Now, technically on the MACD point of view, we are still in a bullish trend, but very low RSI. We don't really know what Bitcoin's going to do at the moment, but when we look at it over here, we're more bearish than bullish, really. Only just. As we paint a different picture when we go to the hourly chart, where we went big volume outside of the Bollinger Band, back inside the Bollinger Band, and now we're sort of sitting at that 58 cents. We were sitting at 60 flat, and now we've dropped back down into the 58s. And from a MACD point of view, we were very bullish, but now we're sort of calm down and come back in. On the 4-hour, when we look at that, it is showing an upward trend. And being Sunday, and Sunday in Australia, and especially Monday mornings in Australia are generally more bearish than bullish. So having this little bit of volume throughout a Sunday is a little bit contradicting than usual. Generally, I would have expected by now that we would have maybe perhaps have seen a $30,000 Bitcoin, but it's not the case. And it's the thing that I've been speaking about a lot, which is, there is a lot of volume, there's a lot of demand at those prices, and so the likelihood of seeing Bitcoin dip below 30 is really bad, because there's a lot of volume that comes in every time we get anywhere near that. And I know that there are a lot of people talking about, 20s and 24s and 23s, and some people are even hoping for an $18,000 Bitcoin. But right now, we don't really have any suggestion of that happening. And not to mention that we still have that rumor of Apple buying $2.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, which, if that were to be true, and if that were to come out, then you can kiss all these indicators goodbye, because that day everything would fly and literally be the catalyst for a kickoff of the bull run again. Let's have a look at some drawings. What can we expect? Okay, so as we kick off the drawings, we can see a 50, 55, 50s, and 48 cents are probably the most likely numbers to come out of going down. This talks about 35 cents and all that. I really don't see it. I'm sorry for people that do. There's just so much support and so much volume comes in whenever the prices drop. But 55, 50, and 48, are things to definitely look out for. And then moving forward, as we push out, once we reach the bottom, and then we're ready to kick off again, then from there, obviously, your $3.50, $3.30 will be broken, $4.50 and beyond, and then we'll get to your 10s and 14s, which I still believe a $14 XRP is possible. And it's not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I want to mention that based on my own research, that they're the kind of things that I'm looking for. The argument for 35 cents, look, the argument does exist, but you can make arguments out of anything, and you can justify anything that you want. Is it going to happen? I don't think so. If you're holding on and waiting for 35 cents, I doubt it, right? Moving forward, if history does repeat itself, when we go into 2023s, 25s and beyond, can you see a $180 XRP happen in the future? Yes. Is history going to repeat itself exactly like it has every time? No. But just keep an eye out on the bigger picture here, that where we're at today is not where we're going to be in a couple of years' time. And so the formation that we're building at the moment, the kind of things that we can expect coming up, I think, once we do find this bottom, wherever this bottom is, 48, 50, 55 cents, and then we kick off, we will know that we've kicked off because of the large volume that we'll have. $1.10, break $1.10, go above $1.10, go to $2, and then after we go out of $2 and retest $2 and continue up, then I think that road from 2 to 330 will happen very, very quickly. Once we are in uncharted territory, I'll be here keeping you up to date as always on a daily basis about what's going on, what is happening, and how do we best move forward when we get there. Do I see two things happening in 2021? The SEC case closing in Ripple's favor and a $10 XRP? Yes, I still do. And if I were to change my mind on it, I would definitely be the first to come on here and tell you that as quick as possible to make sure you're up to date with the most relevant information. If you like the videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.